want to say thank you to the world for helping us to rebuild our country. Jiggy, jiggy, and march, march. But we dance with it now. Come back, we march. All Jamaicans, we are one big family. Time come for deliverance. So make we march in unity. Whether PNP or labor rights, our God loves all of we. We are marching on to progress. Jam down your feet, all of we. Everything Melissa broke down, we are gonna build back. We are gonna build back better than before. Every house we broke down, we are gonna build back. That's how we're gonna have blessings in store. Time come to rebuild together. Cause Jamaica is our home. We are stepping out of darkness into the light. We're gonna build stronger roof and door.
Good morning, Libra Roots, and good morning to all other comebacks watching this channel. Welcome to another episode of Political Hard Talk. I am your host, none other than the greatest Laborite alive. Good morning, my people. Good morning. Before we go any further, my people, before we roll out the morning shouts, wanna tell me if you not see me, tell me if you not hear me. I was having trouble getting on again this morning with the internet. I don't know, I don't know what I go on, my people. Since you tell me if I'm blurry, tell me if you not hear me, tell me if the audio chippy, tell me what I go on. See? So in the meantime, I am assuming that you guys are hearing. So let us roll out the morning shout outs. See? So Aubrey, big up yourself, Raquel. And Richard, big up yourself. Iona, big up yourself. Melody, good morning. Shane, big up yourself. And you know, the life is young, my people. It will grow. Dahlia, big up yourself. Good morning. Now, last night we spoke about, you know, the justice system. And I wanted to add this morning that while we are fixing the police and making them better, they are doing their jobs. They are the ones who go out there and police the streets. They are the ones who go out there and investigate the crimes. And, you know, after investigation, you know, they will hand over whatever they find to the prosecutors. I want to put on record that we cannot have the police doing a brilliant job, which they are, as you can see in our numbers, and then we allow people to get away. And we're not talking about only Jail and Silvera here this morning. We're talking about in general. Now, I want to commend my government, as per usual. I want to commend Dr. Horace Chang. I want to commend Dr. Kevin Blake. I also want to commend Major General Anthony Anderson for his previous work. I also want to commend Miss Weems Garman, or Mrs. Weems Garman, who is the head of the military right now in Jamaica. They are doing wonders in securing our nation. For the first time in almost 40 years, my people, Jamaica have, for the first time in 40 years, have moved from 1 month to another with under 100 murders. See? In the start of the year. Usually the ending and the starting of the year normally tells us where we will end up with our crime statistics at the end of the year. Sharon, big up yourself. Mark Nemad, big up yourself. Cherryberry, big up. Hanif, Winford, Dorothy, big up yourself. Good morning. As I was coming on, my people, I saw something that broke my heart. A 4-year-old last night was out with his father and came under heavy gun attack. His father came under heavy fire last night in Manchester. And that 4-year-old is now dead, my people. His father was also shot and injured last night in Manchester. I can't blame the police. I don't know what the father is involved in. But what I can do, I can appeal to the better judgment of our citizens. I don't know what kind of weight it might hold, but we must appeal nonetheless. We must, as a society, find other ways and means to hash out our differences. A 4-year-old that could have came to mean something to the world or come to mean something to the world. 4 short years. That child's life is now snuffed out because of somebody very selfish. You know, whatever happened to decency? You know, you and your apps have something and you see your apps within family or a child. What would possess you to want to go and traumatize that child in that way? So let's forget about you killing the child. You see your apps and you go for kill your apps. Your apps, they're there within children. Then. You know, how can you be so heartless to want to murder someone in front of their child and to scar that child for the rest of that child's life? Where is the humanity in some of these people? This is why I mean I know a lot of part, you know. And some of these people, they don't think. And when I see some of them a jump up JFJ and some of them a say how police are kill Jamaicans. I want you guys to look into your better judgment this morning and honest to God answer me this question. What do you think when the police catch this person and we do this, if you do to them? Because I honestly think I waste of money if you go lock him up and try him and carry him a court and if you go sit down and him with taxpaying money. That is my honest belief. Are we barbarians? We should be when we are dealing with barbarians. Most of us would have had children. Some of us are older now. You know, but no matter how old your child be, your child is still a baby to you. Look at a 4-year-old baby, an innocent baby. And somebody can see that innocent baby with their parents. Whatever your parents have, you know, wait till you buck him one away. Wait till you hold him one side. What kind of anger you can have, so? You know, if anything, if something should tell us that what happened to in the Jail and Silvera's case, my people, you know, these kind of things, there's potential that these people will get away. So you better we dirt them. Better that way. I don't know how somebody can feel good in themselves to harm a baby, to hurt a little baby. And when you make the move there, you see the little baby, you know, tell yourself, say, boy, there's a possibility of harming that child. So, you know, me make certain, say, me careful. What are we going to do to combat against these things as a nation? We're going to have to get serious. We're going to have to get brutal. Forget about JFJ and all of these places. Because, you know, them not serve no purpose. That little child could have been a future lawmaker, a decent one, a good one. Nads, big up yourself. Winford, big up yourself. Father Dennis, good morning. Good morning to my beautiful wife. We have to get serious. You, Del, big up yourself. You know, one time we go in a somebody's house as a nation. Good morning, Elaine McClarty. And we go in a somebody's house that should not be harboring a criminal. And we find that criminal in that person's house. Oftentimes we don't hear nothing come off the person we have put up a criminal. Oftentimes we don't hear nothing, you know. We have to move to a position where the simplest of things have to get punished. That is how we will get law and order. I am of no doubt that, you know, because what gunman always not account for is that them are your mind in a problem, and you tell your family, say, listen, if nothing happen to me at this manner, see, so then your family can go tell the police, and then the police can come do what they're supposed to do. Oftentimes they not account for that. See, so nobody not think about that until after the fact. Jamaica is moving to a place where we want it to be, and we want to keep it like that. We want to keep it peaceful. You know, I told you guys this on many occasions that I am here in the UK, and I, you know, oftentimes I would encounter somebody. They'll say, oh, where you from? And I'll say, I'm from Jamaica. And oh, that place is so violent. We hear that persons get killed every day. And I'll tell them, go man, go and see for yourself. You might like it. Big up, you know. Right. Caroline, good morning. See? No, we don't want our nation to be marred with this kind of violence anymore. And I want to go as far as to say that I am blaming the death of this child this morning and the PNP. And the reason why I'm blaming the death of this child and the PNP this morning is after running the Jamaica security forces, a matter of fact, the whole security apparatus into the ground, we would have seen where the JLP would have decided in the past to go after criminals and ask for help because we have a two-party system. And we can't move without the other party to do certain things. This is how our structure is made up. See? So when people want to blame Andrew Holness and blame JLP for things, they must understand that there are certain things that cannot be done in Jamaica unless both parties agree to it. Both parties makes up the government, by the way. When you elect somebody JLP have the majority, so they are the governing party. But that does not say that the PNP is not also governing. They have winning MPs who is there sitting in our house. They are legislators, they are lawmakers. See? So we need to understand that. I blame this death and many others on the PNP because they are the ones who let go the ball. They are the ones who refuse to fight crime. And this is why criminals have gotten so brazen. This is why crime and criminality got out of control in our country. And this child's death is on the PNP's hand as well. There's a lot of things that I hear about Manchester relating to the PNP, which I have no proof of, so I will refrain from saying, but I have heard that there are things going on in Manchester relating to the PNP and leadership of the PNP. When this government moved to a position where they said, all right, we're going to quell the violence. We're going to move in and have states of emergencies and zozos and these things to quell down the crime and criminality. And so we can take off some of them criminally off our street. Who knows? This shooter this morning or last night probably would have been one of the person taken up by those dragnets. And that is why everything that is bad in Jamaica today. Has the JLP been in government for 10 years? Yes. And it took almost 10 years to get these results that we are getting now. And if it took 10 years to get these results that we are getting now, just imagine the destruction and the damage that the PNP caused to our country in that 19 years. In 10 years, this government has spent $100 billion. You know what was the budget for security under the PNP government? You know what was the budget for security under the PNP's government? Anybody can take a wild guess and tell me. Every single thing that the government do to go after criminals and to take criminals off the street in this country, the PNP have fought against it. The PNP voted against the Zozos. They voted against the state of, don't lie, they voted for the state of emergency and then said that they didn't and then bring the government to court about it. But the special zones of operation that was meant to go in and stay long to build out the communities and build back the communities, build peace in the community. The PNP was adamantly against that. Mark Golding refused it wholeheartedly in a film constituency. He never go in a film, none at all. These are the kind of people that say they want to lead our nation and they want to be leaders for our nation. I am sure this won't be the only child that will die from gun violence. I am sure it has not been, or he has not been, the only child that have died from gun violence. But all of these years, these 19 years, when the PNP was in with their eat a food mentality and refused to secure our borders, millions and billions and trillions of guns and ammunition came into the island under the watch of the PNP. Those are the same weapons that are being sold and recycled. Those are the same weapons that people are holding now. I blame the PNP wholeheartedly for all of the crime and violence that has taken place over the last 30 years. They had the chance. They had a long time where they could have gone into government and secure Jamaica, and they refused to do it because it benefited them financially and criminally. I was on Mr. Ingram live the other morning in the comment section, and I saw PNP brother. You know, I think he named Excellence or something like that. And he was ranting and raving, you know, saying that anyway you see me, he might go lick me in my face. Because I threaten Jamaican people. You know, so I wanted to put on record, you know, to tell Mr. Excellent or whatever I want him. So yeah, man, I encourage you, I implore you. So anyway you see me, go lick me in my face. You know, I don't want to watch me, I don't want to listen to me. So anyway you see me, come lick me in my face. You know, because me and nobody don't know me. Me not come from nowhere. I'm a bored man. I just got turn up and make somebody lick me in my face. So, Excellent, me know wanna watch me. Because me here now talk about my program. So, I just want to tell you this morning. You know? It is people like them and the people that send them out. You know what I see? I show you something what I see. And I tell you why crime and violence can't done in Jamaica. If any of you is on TikTok, you will be familiar with somebody called Mama San. We call her Mama Hug. See? Now Mama Hug is on the media and she says the most aberrant thing about the Prime Minister and his wife. She said all kind of something. And the other day, Mama Sa came to Jamaica. And Mama Sa posted a video where she went to visit the office of a PNP member of parliament, an elected member of parliament. And the things them when Mama Sa say about Andrew Holness and his wife and nothing pretty. And I saw her being hugged by a PNP politician. I think it was Natalie Nita. Hugged and welcome. We see Gay Brian said the worst things about people. When me look, me see him on PNP stage and PNP MP them a send happy anniversary to him and his man. Derval, you know see I say most abhorrent things about Juliet Holness. I say worst things them. Derval a scavenger in our work now. Who no think I buy Derval credit for come on internet considering something? It is the PNP. They're a criminal enabling organization. You hear me I tell you? And Gay Stevens, they are all being funded by the PNP. They're a criminal enterprise. And they're working for the mafia. That is the PNP. And that is why we have so much crime and violence in our country. Because the PNP is everything that is bad with our country. And it is them why that little child got murdered last night. Because if they had locked down the country from 20, 30 years ago, we would have stopped these things by now. We would have stopped these things by now. The PNP hug up and love up criminals. And don't make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. I guarantee it. Some of we will live to see it and some won't. But me guarantee it. If in case me not live, you know, remember, so me tell you. As soon as Jail and Silvera come out of prison, you will see him on a PNP platform because the PNP is criminal enabling and they love criminals. They identify with criminals. You remember the elder tell us as soon as the Rasta man, I forgot what his name, Claude something and other, came from prison. Michael Manley went to hug him up. That is where all of the criminality came from in Jamaica. It is these people that sow the seeds of criminality in Jamaica. And then can't like Andrew, because Andrew come to clean up the place. Then I like Siaga, because Siaga clean up the place there, you know. Siaga got murders under control in Jamaica, you know, and the PNP never liked that, you know. They did everything what they could do to tear him down, and it worked because the Jamaican people, them are idiot. And as soon as the PNP won back the country, murder rate got out of control. And for 19 years, them no manage to get a handle on it. And then destroy every other thing else with it. And then no fix nothing or build nothing. Some people might not want to hear. And some people might sit down and say, watch him. A be a lime at a tell. But who knows, knows. Who knows, knows. Nigel, I am 1 billion% right that it is the PNP that have oversaw the downfall of Jamaica. I am 1 billion% certain. Good morning, Corinne. Norma, good morning. Dana, good morning. Avis, good morning. I am 100% certain. They don't like people who come about law and order. See when Bruce Golden decide to go off as some criminal, then get rid of him. Something with them plot and having a them pipeline for how long. DGG, good morning. Then got rid of him because they know that Bruce came with real change and come to change Jamaica from how them have it. And because them benefit from the spoils of criminality. There's a lot of criminals in the PNP. I'm not telling you no criminal in the Labour Party. Criminal in there. But when they are caught, they are dealt with. You don't tell me if you never hear of no PNP name get caught in a corruption and ever see a day in a jail. Somebody tell me. Until now. Labour Party supporter got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and guess what we do? There was a Labourite MP that got caught stealing. And guess what we did? We sent him to prison. There was a PNP councillor in Manchester, the same place where this young youth dead last night. 450 million in steal. 450 million Jamaican dollars stole from the Jamaican taxpayers. And it is this government that sent him to prison. And we form a DPP. That's why they don't like her. Can send one of them to prison. And she did out to send one more of them to prison now. You remember the disrespect what Isaac Backerman did to Paula Llewellyn? Because they considered cartel one of theirs. That is why he was so disrespectful to the lady. PNP is a criminal operation. Packed and filled with criminals from head to toe. Dayton as well disrespected the DPP. Good morning, Rowan, big up yourself. Good morning to my beautiful mother-in-law. Good morning, mommy. And Jacqueline, big up yourself. Good morning. For persons who are just entering the live, while great strides have been made insecurity or is being made insecurity. You know, gunman pounced on a father last night in Manchester, killing a 4-year-old baby and shooting and injuring the father. So the father is in the hospital, you know, and his son is now dead because of gun violence, which I attribute to the PNP. You know, people like we say, both party I see same thing, and them. When you're in opposition, you have no power. None. As it relates to governance. Or the final say. You have say as it relates to governance, but you don't have the final say. Let us say that. It's a baby girl. I read that it was a boy, you know. So I don't know, somebody probably have the facts mix up melody. But if it is a baby girl, that's even worse. How you can be of in any conscience, see a man and him baby. And you see him by himself and he unarmed. And you go to create that the kind of trauma there to that little baby there. Because if the baby never dead, should have to see her father dead. Probably I call her father and he now wake up. We have to come to a consensus in our country. And we need some serious leaders on the opposition side. And if we not stand united on the economy, if we not stand united on trade, if we not stand united on housing, if we not stand united on agriculture, we must stand united on the security of our nation. Anything to secure the nation, both parties must be succinct in unison to say that the security of our nation is paramount. One thing you don't know about me, I don't mince. Anything was supposed to get done, I want to see it get done. I'm going to talk about it. I can't in no good conscience blame the police or their leadership. And I can't in any good conscience blame the government this morning. But I can in good conscience blame the perpetrator and I can blame the PNP. And the reason why I can blame the PNP is for 19 years when the PNP should have secured the island. They had ample time and enough years and to secure the island and to fight against some of these things and lock down the ports them and the border them so guns and them something that can stop coming in our country. You know, our border security was so lacking where cartels, drug cartels, would often fly into our island and tiny planes, land them, pick up drugs and fly out and we would not detect them. That detection work started under Robert Bobby Montague when he was security minister. Remember that? You see the helicopter them buy what you? And Bobby Montague them the order, you know. Police vehicle them buy and Bobby Montague them the order, you know. So they were doing work building up to now. But had the PNP did all of these things, we would have secured Jamaica earlier. And many of these gunmen would have been taken off the street, whether by force or by will. But one way or the other. You know, in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, a lot of Jamaicans made their way from Jamaica to places like Britain. and took with them semi-automatic weapons and automatic weapons, Uzis and shotguns and pump rifle. Now, England have always been a country where, you know, the police by intelligence, so they never really carry guns. But the ones that did had some little spin barrel and then kind of gun there. The Yardies, they were called. They were very armed and dangerous, and often would go into London and rob jewelry places and gangs and gun violence, and you'd literally hear automatic rifles firing on the streets of Britain. You know what Britain did? They adapted. They built units that carry heavy weaponry. They're called rolling units. They're always on the road. See? And they build those kind of units where if the officers that don't have guns call for backup, they can be there within, 20 minutes or so, or less. And they adapted. What we need to do, and by the way, most of these criminals were PNP after they kill people in Jamaica, kill labor right in Jamaica. They sent them away to places like Britain, Canada, and New York and these places. That's what used to happen. Some labor rights too, because it used to happen on both sides. But more so, PNP. Some of these PNP are living in foreign till this day. They are elderly now, older, and it is them that is on the internet sitting down talking bad about this government. Why? Because them can't go home, because through them did a PNP gunman, them still thinks the government will look for them now, and through labor right in the power, them tell themselves say, if they go home, labor right go lock them up. Nobody no business about you, nobody no member about you, no go on home. See? Jamaica need to adapt the same. I must carry a zero tolerance to gun violence. There must be no other way now other than you go to prison for life or you go dead. That is the position that we must take now. We must not give criminals any more chance to come back on the streets to create havoc. Now, granted, some people is circumstances why they're doing it and they can't stop. They wonder, enough of them already stop. Sometime a man do something to one of your family them and you get out and the chips lie where they may. Some people survive it, some don't. Then can't stop. For the ones that stop, kudos to them. Put on your gun, get something to do, and that is how we want to see it happen. The government continue to plead. The Prime Minister continue to plead with youths, saying that he needs them in the economy, and if he come in, come get a trade, get a skill, and go do something. And that is the same line I'm taking. Now, this child could have been your grandchild, your great-grandchild. It could have been one of mine. Could have been one of yours. Could have been your son, your son, daughter. Your daughter, your daughter, son. Big up in Sylvan. Good morning. I must take a zero tolerance to gun violence now. It is time. There's a lot of things that need to happen in Jamaica. We have to get serious. Like we said last night, we need a second-degree murder charge on the books. We also need biting social media changes. So when people like Muma saw they on the media and tell the Prime Minister say go suck out your mother and this and that is a crime. And a warrant should go out for their arrest. And if we can't get them from where they're there, we wait until they come on the island. As soon as they come off a plane, we arrest them. Because they have to come home. They have family, they have loved ones. Somebody in their family got sick, somebody in their family got dead. They have to come home. So you don't bother argue with them. You just put out a bowler at the airport. Soon as they step off a plane, lock them up. See, now people are going to say freedom of speech, this and that. Jail and Sylvia wife tell him say, he make him pitney dead, and him mother something and his sister something, and him take out him gun and shoot his wife and then charge him for manslaughter. See? So I guess speech not really free. There's consequences to it. There's consequences to what come out your mouth, I guess. That is what they are telling us. So when I sit down on the media, and you see the Prime Minister a thief, you should be able to prove it. When you sit down on social media and say Babsy Grange killed 3 people, because that I see them a comment and I'm a picture of my post with Mama Babsy. So Babsy Grange killed 3 people. You should be able, if you have information, say Babsy Grange killed 3 people, why you not bring it to the police? And if you're uttering such statements out of your mouth, you should be able to prove it then. When I say the Prime Minister thief $3 trillion, you're supposed to be able to prove it. In a no other country, you see people can get up and disrespect their leaders like this. Mark Golding, no care which disrespect or who he say a disrespect the Prime Minister, never come out one time and say, listen, as a nation of people, our people, who can't stand for them things, the office must be respected because he is seeking to go into that office. When he go in the office, who have to tap me for and call him big gut Mark Golding, big titty Mark Golding, hug back, hug neck Mark Golding, frog back Mark Golding. Who go tap me for and call him that? Who go stop me for and call him Humpty Dumpty was sat up on the wall? We soon get another fall at the next election. Who go tap me? This is the kind of behavior that Mark Golding and his PNP surrogates have enabled. See? And had he had respect for the office of Prime Minister and had respect for my Prime Minister, I would never hear me call him no name. Never. Because I would in turn have respect for him. But Mark Golding have degraded the office of opposition leader. Held by great people. I think PJ Patterson is the only one out of all that never held the office of opposition leader. But everybody else. Big up in the late. Michelle Thousand, good morning. Who know I come so late this morning? Want me to bite out on the neck ching? Want me? Disrespect the Prime Minister wife. I wanna never hear me disrespect Sandra see me. You know why? Because Sandra woman and Sandra probably not involved with Mark. Mark probably just a keep up a charade. Or a charade. Never hear me disrespect Sandra yet. There's a reason for it. Sandra not involved in her politics. So me just love Sandra one side. Plus Sandra one away. Mark Golding is not. You look upon a government like this. 54% decrease in murders in St. James. 61% decrease in murders in Westmoreland. Since the year started, only 4 people get murdered in Westmoreland. You know? Normally, we go to bed and I wake up from a gunshot. Long at Westmoreland. I guess freedom of speech have something to do with international law. Maro. So if you know in our constitution, we're subjected to international law as well. And I believe that is where freedom of speech would come in. You know, but if me can tell one police to F off and the police can lock me up, why should you want to come on the media and tell the Prime Minister to F off? You know, and I support Marlene Malawi Ford's position. You know, she took the position that persons who disrespect people certain way on the internet, it is a crime, and it is a crime. You know, listen to me. There was a case not long ago in England where a wife of a councillor in England commented on a Facebook post, you know, and that comment that she posted, it was deemed that she was inciting violence. And I believe she spent 8 months in a prison for that. See? Somebody went online the other day and said that Trump should be, you know, and that person was charged for that. Somebody in Trinidad the other day, you know, said that the Prime Minister in Trinidad or the President in Trinidad should, and that person is in court now, soon sentenced and gone to prison. I just for we country alone, we are going like say we are idiot down there. In order for we have a better country, we have to install discipline. Or we have to instill discipline. Big up yourself, you know, do I? You know, one of the night we're gonna have a call in. I go say I can rally up any one of my police brethren them I may have. And we not gonna identify them. But would I like them tell me the difference, you know, for the ones that have been there for years. I have a few, you know. More than tell me the difference, you know, in that time. And all right, the difference when they joined just before 2007, you know, up till now. Because we know it never great, it never good. From 2007 come right up till now. We know it never great, but it better off now. It took years to build it to where it is now, but it is better off now. We can attest to that. See? So me I gotta get couple and bridge in them where police come on and tell we, you know, when they join, you know, how was it compared to now? I'm guarantee you. So them I gonna tell you, because then tell me, say this is a lot better off now. You get a good morning. It's a lot better off now. But every single thing that is bad in this country now, the PNP had a chance to fix it and refused to do it. And we find ourselves now with them, with a leader that is the worst that has ever came. See? Worst that has ever came. And he's the one who is refusing to raise the bar and to raise the argument to a position that is better for all of us. And he would stop at nothing. When you just imagine Mark Golding as Prime Minister. Mark Golding and no behavior and no manners. My bullbuck and duppy can. Nobody could tell him nothing, you know. Country that tear down in no time. I'm not take it, me tell you no. No time, a country that tear down, you know. I'm not take it, me tell you no. It is not right that, you know, with children then can grow in a Jamaica. It is not right that a 4-year-old can be gunned down in the street. It is not right that anybody at all can be gunned down, but a 4-year-old baby, you know, right. And oftentimes we see these scenes, and when we look at Prime Minister alone, you would never see opposition leader turn up and say, you know, so I stand up with the Prime Minister this morning and crime and violence will end. So we are stand shoulder and shoulder in unison to make sure that the people see that we are standing in unison and we're going to fight against crime and violence. No, instead, Mark Golding always choose to divide. Like how Sanja fi divide in belly to find what down there so. Eh? always choose to divide instead because he depend divide and conquer for rule. But he can't conquer because we have sense now. See? But anyway, my people, I get ready for go to work. Well, soon this evening. See? Big up all 142 persons who is here. Big up all 63 persons that gave me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. And I'll soon this evening. See? Big up on yourself. Much love. Shower laborers.